For over 20 years, I've dedicated my life to bringing you the very best selling, marketing, and business building strategies to keep your business thriving. Get ready to experience the success you've been searching for. Welcome to the Tom Ferry Show. Hey everybody, welcome to the Tom Ferry Show, episode 86. Today I'm just feeling it. You've heard me say this before. If you've ever been to a live seminar with me, I would occasionally ask you to turn to your neighbor, look them right in the eyes and say, your head is a scary place to be. Well, if you've heard me say that before, you said it with me live, you know exactly what I'm talking about. In my last book, which feels like a million years ago since I wrote that, Life by Design, I talked about, having completed tens of thousands of hours of coaching and how I know with absolute certainty that you and every person around you has in them the ability to have explosive growth, to have extraordinary results, to have the kind of life, dreams, and desires that is available to all of us. But I know what stops most people. In that book, I actually talked about when you are faced with a choice to act, the average human being literally goes from here to death and dying in that decision unconsciously. For example, let's say if I was sitting with you right now, I said, hey, you know what I want you to do? I want you to call these 5 expired listings. I'm just saying, let's just say you've never called an expired before. This is what happens to the average human being. They go, oh my God, if I call the expired, what if they reject me? What if I don't, if it doesn't work? And if they reject me, I'm not gonna feel good. If I don't feel good, then I'm not gonna perform really well at all. If I don't perform really well at all, I'm probably not gonna make any sales. If I don't make any sales, I'm not gonna make any money. If I don't make any money, I'm not gonna be able to eat. If I don't eat, I'm gonna die. And all I said was, hey, there's some expired listings in your area. Maybe you should give them a call. And the average human being goes right to death and dying. Your head, my friends, is a scary, scary place to be. I have 2 boys. I work with them all the time on mental toughness training, whether that's affirmations or exposure or learning to see things as they are. But I want to give you one of the biggest, most important lessons I've learned, because it's something that as I have conversations, I'm blessed today that I get phone calls from some of the most extraordinary agents on the planet. And usually they're not calling me to tell me how much money they're making and how wildly successful they are. They're usually saying, you know who I am. I used to be on this list. I've fallen off the list. I'm not as successful as I want to be anymore. And I need to get my edge back. I need to get my mojo back. It's mental toughness training. One of the most important things I ask them first and foremost is, are you coachable? Are you coachable? I'm asking you right now, 86 episodes in, are you coachable? Because when you take action on what I'm about to share with you, you are going to feel so inspired, so empowered. You're going to have so much more charisma, so much more passion, so much more energy, so much of what you were born with every single day. It's inside you, and I just want to help unlock it. So you guys ready? This is heavy, I know. Let's take a look. I would ask you to literally draw this out. And what this represents, my friends, is the incompletes over here. The incompletes that are causing you to drag. So if I asked you right now, what's on your mind, how you feeling about the market, what's incomplete in your business, especially coming off last week's show where I looked at all these different areas and you're assessing and analyzing, right? Remember that conversation? You might say, oh, my database isn't right. I'm really not up on all this new Facebook video stuff. I just feel like my marketing is stale, and all these conversations that we're having about our business are all these incompletes, if you will. And what we know is this, all these incompletes create a lack of certainty. And when you don't have a lot of certainty, security, when you don't feel emotionally right, you don't take massive action, my friends. When you're not feeling certainty, you know what you do? You watch television. You start, what's going on in the news, right? You start drinking more. You stop exercising. You stop reaching out to your friends. You stop doing all the things that people with great confidence do. You begin to get in a foxhole and you start to hide. Now, I don't know if you know anybody that's ever done that before. Maybe like the person sitting in your chair. There's a pretty good chance, my friends, this is not my first rodeo. So here's the deal. I ask myself all the time, or anybody that comes into my world, what are the incompletes that are causing your business to drag? Who are you incomplete with? What are you incomplete with? And guess what I'll usually say? email me a list. Send me an email of everything you're incomplete with. And generally speaking, it starts out with these big emotional stories. Oh, my, ex. Oh, my son. I feel like we're not connected. Or my parents. Or, my best friend. Or my old broker. Or my old assistant. And I get all the emotion, if you will, right? And what happens is, when I see all that emotion, when I see all these incompletes, I'm never shocked by that person not taking massive action. Right? When you have all that, if you will, weight of the world on your shoulders, in your head, which is a scary place to be, you're probably not going to be the kind of person that's picking up the phone, calling your past clients in Sphere, doing all the things we're talking about, because you're stuck up here. And when you're stuck up here, my friends, you're dead. You know it, and I know it. So what do we need to do, right? The second thing I wrote down, by the way, just another big question. What am I holding on to that if I just let it go? What old story am I holding on to that if I just let it go? It's another way of asking yourself about the incompletes. If I just let it go, I'd be free to create, free to grow, free to, to be expressed, to have some fun again. I got an email recently, and I won't say the name of this wonderful client, but she was at the summit, and she asked me for a favor. She said, my business is a little bit off, and we created some accountability where she has to email me every day. And in this email, one of the recent ones I received was, she said, Tom, you just don't understand. At my age, she's not an old woman. At my age, I just don't understand this Facebook stuff. I don't understand Instagram. I don't know what a tweeter, twatter, twoodly doodly is, right? And so she's telling me all the reasons why she's not being relevant. I just emailed her back and said, did you ever learn how to drive a stick shift car? You figured that out. You can figure this out too. But if you keep holding on to, this is not my generation, this is not my stuff, I'm not good at this, it's like an affirmation. You with me on this? I'm actually asking you right now, and I wish we were face to face, because I would be looking at you saying, probably lay down on my couch and let's get deep here. Every single one of us is holding on to a story that we think is true, that we've created true. We've made it real for us. And what it is it's this giant incomplete. It's this giant story about I can never, and the way I was raised, and you don't understand who my parents are. And I get it. I'm going to ask you this question. What are the open loops in your life? Is it 5? Is it 10? Is it 20? And if you and I were sitting together face to face, I would ask you to make up the list, the entire list of the stuff that's dragging on you, the old stories, the old emotions, the old incompletes, both the emotional side and of course the projects in your business. And I would ask you, are you coachable? Are you coachable? Can we go attack the list? Because what do you think happens? And I've seen it tens of thousands of times now. What do you think happens when somebody attacks that list? What do you think happens when they start closing the loops? What do you think happens, my friends, when everything starts getting done? Well, you can imagine. I see massive transformation in their business. I see massive transformation in their confidence. I see massive transformation in their income, in the way that they operate, the way they communicate with people, the way they connect with people. It's like their swagger just takes off to a level 10. I'm asking you, are you coachable? As you look between now and the end of the year, ask yourself this question. What are the 3 to 5 areas where I'm incomplete? And is there a story perhaps about my life and about my business that I've been holding on to as true and real? And if I just took it off like an old jacket and said, I'm done with it, what could happen to your business? I know the answer, my friends. Are you willing to do the work? Just like I emailed that gal. You learned how to drive a car. You figured it out. You can do this too. So, heavy message today on the Tom Ferry Show, episode 86. Can't wait to see what the comments are going to be like. Some of you will be like, whoa, very deep. I think I need a therapist. No, you know what you need to do? You need to man up a little bit. You need to look in the mirror and say, I've got these 6 or 7 areas in my life that are dragging on me, and I have to close the loop. Maybe I got to email somebody and say, I am sorry for how I made you feel. Or you need to say, I'm scheduling 4 hours and I'm going to finish my stupid database, and just attack. And when you do, you will feel unstoppable. Thank you so much for watching. Remember always, your strategy matters. And now more than ever, your ability to close the loops is what makes you rule. Thanks for watching. If you love what you're seeing here, then click the button below to join our online community absolutely free. Thanks so much.